Could you imagine going to a stranger on the street and initiating a conversation with him? Well, just a couple of years ago I would get goosebumps just by thinking of that. I always admired people who were natural at this. Unlike me. I think too much. Before the conversation even started, I went through all possible scenarios in my head. And do you know what? The real conversation oftentimes didn't start at all. Yes, I'm an introvert. I gain my energy being at home, while being amongst other people, my energy goes to drain. And there is only a certain amount of it. I always realized that I lack communication skills, but I didn't care that much. I worked on things which I enjoyed and was good at, for example, programming. But then I realized one thing. We all live on this giant, big blue ball called Earth, and I think isolating is not an option, because you lose opportunities. For example, you may not meet your future partners for your business, or your new closest friends, or perhaps your future wife. The world is not as we see it in our head, and it never will be. So I decided to adapt to the outside world and to solve my biggest problem, which is hindering me in achieving my vision, my dreams and my goals. I decided to work on my communication skills with other people. About 3 years ago I joined Toastmasters Košice Speakers Club. Me, because I wanted to. Nobody forced me. People on the meeting had a very easy role with me, because after the meeting ended, I just came to this vice president for membership and just asked, what should I do to become a member? That was it. You know, I have this theory that our lives are determined by several key or breakthrough decisions which affect the rest of our lives. And I'll give you some examples. The university you decided to study, or your very first job. I really believe that if I decided to study abroad in Brno, Czech Republic, as I planned to some very long time ago, I wouldn't be standing there in Košice. And I think the decision to enter the Toastmasters Košice Speakers Club was one of those key decisions which affected the rest of my life. And I also think it was one of the best decisions I made. I remember my first speech very vividly. I was very nervous, I had this weird stomach feeling, my heart was beating fast, and I was really nervous. But you know what? I survived. And I survived other speeches to come. And with each new speech I was better and better at speaking skills. And I was less nervous, of course. While I did, my communication skills with other people also improved. But you know, in Toastmasters it's easy. When there are some strangers coming or guests, your role is easy because they came because of you, because of your event. So you can ask them, hey, I'm Vladimir, what brought you here to Toastmasters? You see, easy. But my question from the beginning of today's video still stands. Could you imagine approaching a stranger on the street and initiating a conversation with him? Well, for me the answer was, even after those years in Toastmasters, still no. About 2.5 years ago I started my entrepreneurial career. I built on the foundations from Toastmasters, but with each happy client, with each successful contract, my confidence actually boosted. I didn't see my growth because I was working mostly from home. I didn't attend those mass meetups someplace else, partially due to COVID situation. but the growth was already there, I just didn't see it. And just recently I started working for a contract for NES Slovakia. Recently they celebrated 16 years being here in Slovakia, and I attended this mass event after a really long time. I came there, it was like 130, 150 people, and just a couple of years ago I would be really nervous. But today it was different. I was different. I took a deep breath, looked around the room, picked up a random group of people there, and I approached them. Hey, I'm Vlado. Could I join you, because I'm new in here and I knew anybody. So I would love to spend some time with you. Do you know what? It really worked. During this meeting I talked with lots of people, and I approached several groups of random people like this. And with each next approach it was actually easier for me. That was the day when I realized how a long way I came already, and there is still a long way in front of me. You know, you are on a crossroads today, like I was a couple of years ago. Today, there is a moment which can affect the trajectory of your life. You could join our little Toastmasters club and become a member. Or you don't. It's up to you, of course. But I would love to talk to you about your dreams, about your feelings, what you want to do with your lives. And I would love to discuss it on our after party, after this meeting ends. Thank you for your attention.